Hello YouTube, this is Gamer of Knowledge and More, Gamer of Knowledge, GoCam, or just Fred if you want to go by my real name, back with another video. This is the third deck profile I'm doing on my Shiranui deck. I was able to get all the cards for the deck that I wanted for it, and a couple of extras. So without wasting any more time, I'm gonna go into it. First up, I'm running 2 Shiranui Samurai. I've finally bumped it down to 2 to add another 2 to have another copy of Squire, but for him, during either player's turn, you can banish a zombie from your graveyard. Doesn't matter what kind of zombie it is, and he gains 600 attack until the end phase. And if it does, you banish any monster that battled him after damage calculation. And if he's banished, you get to return a Shiranui monster from your graveyard to your hand. So not only can he banish any of your Shiranui monsters to activate their effects, he can also be banished and get one of your monsters back. Next is 2 Shiranui Spirit Master. I consider him one of the Gobbledygurk of the deck. What he does is, when he's normal summoned, you can special summon a Shiranui monster from your hand or graveyard except him, but he's banished when it leaves the field. And if he's banished, you get to destroy one face-up card your opponent controls. So not only can you bring back a monster from your graveyard if it has to, but it can also destroy some of your opponent controls, which might be pesky. Next is 2 Shiranui Squire. I was finally able to get another copy of it, and I consider him the other Gobbledygurk of the deck. When he's normal summoned, you can special summon a Shiranui Spectral Sword monster from your hand or deck. Also, you can special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except zombies. That effect will show up in some of the other cards as well, but the special summoning of zombies is practically non-existent in this deck, because all monsters in the deck are zombies. Also, if he's banished, then you can draw a card to then discard a card. So he can help you select what cards you need in your hand and what would be good for, and what monsters would be good for Spirit Master's normal summon effect. Next up is 2 Smith. If he's sent from the field to the grave as synchro material, you can add a Shiranui card from your deck to your hand, except another copy of him. And if he's banished, you can make sure your zombies cannot be destroyed by battle. So if you wanted to, you could just banish him through a Smith, make your monsters indestructible by battle, and banish any monster your opponent controls because of Samurai's effect. Next, I'm running 2 Solitaire. You can tribute a zombie to special summon a zombie type tuner from your deck who has 0 defense. And if he's banished, you can target one of your banished Shiranui monsters, except him, or up to 2 instead if Shiranui Style Synthesis is on the field, and special summon them. Each effect can only be used once per turn, but both effects are quite good for the deck because he can tribute any zombie monster, not just himself. And also with the Shiranui Style Synthesis cards, you can easily bring back 2 of your Shiranui monsters. Next up, I'm running, in terms of the Spectral Sword monsters, I'm running 2 of each now. I'll start off with Shade because it's higher level. You can tribute him to target 2 of your banished zombie monsters except him, including a Shiranui monster. Special summon them in defense position but negate their effects. He also has the special only zombie specials like Squire, but like I said, non-existent in the deck. I have a feeling that if I don't mention them, people will get mad. So yeah. Next up is 2 Spectral Sword. He kind of does synchro summoning in the graveyard, because if he's in the graveyard, except the turn it was sent, you can target one non-tuner zombie type monster in your graveyard, banish both it and this card, and if you do, special summon a zombie type synchro monster from your extra deck whose levels are equals to the total levels of those two monsters had. So if you want to, you can banish it and Smith to bring out level 6. Next, to round up the Shiranus, I'm running 2 Shiranui Swordmaster. If he's in your graveyard and you control 2 or more Shiranui monsters with different names, you can bring him back, but he's banished when he leaves the field. And if he's banished, you can make one of your zombies gain 600 attack points until the end phase. So he can easily help Samurai get to 3000 attack points if you banish him through his effect. Next, for the non-Shiranui monsters, I'm running 2 Ash Blossom. It's a good hand trap if you're going up against like Latch ones, because when a card or effect is activated that includes any of these effects, you can discard it and negate the effect. And those effects are add a card from the deck to the hand, special summon from the deck, or send a card from the deck to the grave. That's the last part is especially good for against Latch ones. Next up is 2 Necroface. If this card is normal summoned, you shuffle all banished cards into the deck, and he gains 100 attack for each card summoned to the main deck by this effect. And if he's banished, each player banishes the top 5 cards of their deck, or the entire deck if it's less than 5. So he's really good if you're running low on resources, and he's also a good Allure of Darkness target since we are running one of it. Next up is 2 Unizombie. He can increase someone's level twice, once by discarding a card, and by another level by sending a zombie to the grave. But you cannot attack for the rest of the turn except zombies, but that doesn't matter since the entire deck is zombies. And to round up the monsters, I'm running 1 Plague Spreader still. If it's in your graveyard, you can place a card back on top of your deck from your hand to special summon him, but it's banished when he leaves the field. He's really good if I already did a level 6 synchro summon and I want to go into level 8. Next, to round up this, I'm going to do the spells. So first, I got 2 Solemnity. Its name becomes Serenity Style Synthesis while in the spam trap card zone, and you can either banish the zombie from your graveyard to make the normal and special summons of your zombies they can't be negated for the rest of the turn, or target a zombie you control, banish it, then you can send a zombie with 0 defense from your deck to the grave. So both effects are really good for the deck, because the first, just in case you're going against a deck that has unless you have if you're going against decks that negate summons, or if you want to use a foolish barrier type of effect. Next, I'm only running 2 of the main synthesis. Once per turn, if you control no monsters, you can either bring back a monster from your graveyard, as long as it's a zombie with 0 defense, or return a zombie with 0 defense from your banish zone into your graveyard. So he's good if I want to bring back monsters. Some of the only monsters that I can't bring back is the Link monster of the deck, who I will get to later. Next, I'm running 2 Ghost Meets Girl, a Marikasi's manuscript. It's kind of like a Monster Reborn in a way for the deck. During the main phase, you target 1 zombie synchro monster you control, and you special summon a zombie monster that has the same attribute that's either banished or in your graveyard, but it's banished during the end phase. And it has a zombie special summoning effect like Squire. That doesn't really matter for the deck. Next, to round up the zombie specific cards, I'm running 2 Carve the Mummy. What it does is that you can bring out a zombie from your hand as long as you control no monsters, so it can easily help me go into level 6 synchros and possibly even more. Next, for some support for the deck and answers, I'm running 1 Burial just to return some monsters into the graveyard from banishment. One MST to get rid of some back row. Cosmic Cyclone and Twin Twisters, which are kind of improved versions of Mythical Space Typhoon. Cosmic Cyclone makes you pay 1,000 to banish a spell trap card, and Twin Twisters, for the cost of discarding a card, can destroy 2 spell trap cards. Next, for some banish support. For the rest of the banish support, I'm running 1 Allure of Darkness. You draw 2 cards, then you banish 1 dog monster from your hand, or send your entire hand to the grave if you do not have any in your hand. So the monster that I like to banish with this is Necroface. That way, I'm technically banishing 11 cards altogether. Next up is 2 Power of Desires. It banishes the top 10 cards from your deck face down to draw 2 cards, and you can only use 1 per turn. It's good for the deck, but it's not the best. It does banish the cards face down, which is a bummer to me, but that rounds up all the spells. Now I'm running only 7 trap cards, so I'm in total, including copies. So first up is Shiranui Samsara. It's another card that whose name becomes Synthesis while it's on the field. And once per turn, you can either banish a zombie you control to take no damage this turn, or target 2 of your banished zombies with 0 defense and shuffle them both into the deck to draw a card. So if you want to, you can use it with Smith to prevent your monster's destruction and to take no damage, and it's a nice bit of drawing as well. Next up is 2 Shiranui style Swallow Slash. It's similar to Twin Twisters, except it's specific to this archetype. You tribute a zombie to destroy 2 cards on the field, then you banish the Shiranui monster from your deck. So you can only use 1 per turn. Next, I'm running 2 Shiranui style Success. You special summon a zombie from your hand, but it is banished when it leaves the field. And also you can banish it to make one of your zombies unaffected by card effects except its own. And you can only use each of 1 effect per turn and only once that turn. Next, to round up the traps, I'm running 1 Storm Dragon's Return. It's really good if I want to bring back Necroface if I've banished both of them. What it does is that you target 1 banished monster, special summon it to your side, but it returns to the hand during the end phase. It's really good if I've already banished a lot of cards and I want to bring them all back with Necroface. So that's it for the main deck. In the extra deck, I'm running 3 Skill Saga Shiranui Star. I can't talk today, guys. 3 Shiranui Skill Saga Supremacy. It requires 2+ zombie monsters, or in this deck's case, 2+ monsters. Synchro monsters you control can't be destroyed by card effects, and fire monsters you control can't be destroyed by battle. So the rest of your extra deck is protected by card effects and battle pretty much. And during your opponent's turn, this is a quick effect. you can target one of your banished zombie synchros and special summon it to a zone this points to. Unfortunately, it does not point. It only has one down arrow, which is the one in the middle. I would have preferred it if I had two of them, but you know. Next, I'm going to do in level order, like how I did with the Spectral Swords. First up, I'm running 3 Sun Sagas. Most of them has the requirements of 1 zombie tuner plus 1 more non-tuner zombies, but for this deck it's just 1 tuner plus 1 more non-tuner monsters. I'm still going to say it like that, but just in case you lot don't want me to. So it needs 1 zombie tuner plus 1 more non-tuner zombies. If it's battle summoned, you can return any number of your zombie synchros that are banished or in your graveyard to the extra deck to destroy that many cards. And if a zombie monster you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish a Shiranui monster instead from your graveyard. So it's kind of like Return of the Dragon Lords with the protection effect. Next, it's 3 Shiranui Shogun Saga. He needs the same materials as Sun Saga, and if he's special summoned, you can banish a zombie monster from your graveyard to make him gain that much his original attack points until the end phase. And if he's destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to your graveyard, its effect is similar to Samurai, except instead of returning a graveyard target to your hand, it's a banished target to the graveyard. Next up is 3 Samurai Saga, the only one that doesn't require zombie monsters. Once returned, you can banish this face-up monster you control or in your graveyard to apply these effects in a sequence depending on what the monster was before it was banished, if it is any of these. First up, Zombie. You can have all your monsters gain 2 attack points. Fire. Destroy a spell trap card. Synchro. Destroy a monster. So, if you banish a fire attribute synchro monster who's tapping a zombie, you get to do all 3. Next, it's 3 Samurai Saga. His requirements is 3 is like Sun Saga and Shogun Saga. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can target one of your banished zombies, shuffle it into your deck, then change the defense position all monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to that monsters. And if he's banished, you get to lower the attack of one of your opponent's monsters by 500. Also, all of the extra deck monsters, except Skill Saga, can only be special summoned once per turn. So thank you for watching this video, guys. If you want to see more of these in the future, please like the video, as well as comment and share, as well share with your friends, as well as press the subscribe button and ring that bell. I will be leaving links to my social media down in the description and on the pinned comment as always. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.